Well, welcome back, guys. Welcome back. We have two Mitsubishis here, two different generations. I just want to go over and show you guys a couple of things. Keep in mind when you're looking at buying them, or maybe if you have one and you're looking at maybe transitioning to the other, or maybe you don't have any idea about your U42s or U62s and you want to learn a little bit about them. So I guess we'll get into this one and then we'll get into this one and do a little comparison. What's different, what's the same, and go from there. So I guess we'll get to it. So guys, got this 1992 Mitsubishi mini cab. It's a pretty plain Jane truck, other than what I've done to it to set it off to be a different breed of its own. So come around here and take a peek at it. Like I said, we're going to do a little comparison between a U42 and a U62. So U42, you're going to find this year range 1990 all the way up to 98, early 99. So I'm not the shortest guy and I'm not the thinnest guy. When you're sitting in a mini truck, we'll say Honda for instance, my knees are up in the dash. They're not very comfortable to sit in, but this one is. I enjoy sitting in this truck. I enjoy driving it. I got plenty of room, plenty of leg room here. My knees aren't touching the dash. I can comfortably sit in it. It's got high back seats, so you got back support all the way up to your shoulders pretty much. And it's just laid out a lot nicer on the inside versus even the Subarus. I fit in this truck better than I do Subaru. My legs still touch the dash. Sitting in this U42, they don't. Even sitting here, say if it was in fifth gear, which this one don't have, my leg would lay up against the shifter, but I'm not up in the dash. That's a very, very big thing for me. I got good clearance here on the steering wheel, decent at least. But yeah, they're comfortable trucks to be in. You could be in this truck for several hours out working it and be all right. You're not super cramped, but you are sitting over the wheel wells in this one, where in that one over there behind us, it's got the set forward axle, so you do have the nose overhang. So off-road, it's a little give and take. So you got the nose overhang where the U62, the front tires are going to grab whatever's in front of you. So the thing about U42s is the 3.5-inch lift sets up with actually, I think, a little more ground clearance than a 5.5-inch lift on the U62, which I guess come back over here. You can show them down low here how much clearance we have from that cross member to the ground versus how much ground clearance we have from this subframe to the ground. So the lifts are a little bit of body, a little bit of suspension on both of them. At least the way I do it. You get a little body, a little suspension as a combination of the lift. So U42 may do a little better with ground clearance than a U62. U62 may not need the ground clearance because the tires sit so far forward versus having the nose overhang. So there's give and take. The big thing is about the 99s and up is they're wider. They're about 3 to 4 inches wider, something around that. So if you open that door over there, with me sitting in this truck, I don't feel as cramped with the width of the truck. So I can close the door and actually be able to put my arm over onto the top of the door frame. And the dashes are laid out so much nicer. Even more leg room in this truck than what the U42 has. I would rather sit in this 99 U62 rather than sit in that jumbo over there. Guess why? Because my legs will touch a part of the dash on that truck. They don't touch the dash in this truck. So that's the biggest drawback for me as a tall person. That's a little on the hefty side, that when you're looking at trucks, your leg room is very important. Being cramped, longevity of you being in the truck, it all plays a factor. So a little wider truck, a little bigger cab, set forward axle. I mean, to me, the U62 is the way to go. On top of the transmission options, which Mitsubishi did well with the transmission options, they always gave you a high-low transfer case, even if you had a 4-speed or a 5-speed. 99s and up, it just went to 5 speeds, and that's it. In the 90s, you had an option between 4 and 5 speed, but you always had a high-low transfer case, and that is a huge thing when you're off-road, you're hauling weight, to have that extra low range and full range of gears, where you know, your Hondas, your Subarus, they don't give you that high-low range. And with your Suzukis, it was give and take. With a 5-speed versus 4-speed was your transmission option. 5-speed, you didn't have a high-low range. 4-speed, you do. So your mini cabs, whether if you go with a 90s model or 2000s, they're just the way to go. From 90 model all the way up to 2013, that's my truck of choice. And when you're sitting here side by side comparing them, I'd enjoy driving this one just as much as I'd enjoy driving this one, actually, because they're Mitsubishi and that's what I like. The wheels and tires, they all fit the same. Actually, scratch that out, back up a little bit, they don't. 99s and up, they went to a 4 and 100 wheel pattern, where your 90s models was a 4 on 115, 114.3, whatever it is, pretty much a 115. It's harder to find wheels for this truck. I actually had to get adapters to go from 4 on 115 to 4 on 100 to fit these wheels, where this one I didn't. So as far as the lug patterns are better, the 4 on 100 easier to find, but when I said they fit the same as far as the width, wheel size, tire size, you know, that aspect, it's all the same. Lug patterns did change. Actually, across the board in 99, your lug patterns changed to 4 and 100. So everything from 99 up is pretty well 4 and 100s. So you can always find your wheels a lot easier than you can 4 and 115s. You don't have to go with adapters like I did with this one. So they both have the same engine. You know, they kind of remind me of Chevy, where they had the small block 350 or then 305 for many years, and they used them in a lot of applications, and that's what they did here. You can find this 3G83 in vans, the trucks, and I'm sure there's some cars and small SUVs with the same engine. You know, you went to fuel injection in 99, carburation, carbureted engines in the 90s. So pick your poison there. I'd go with the fuel injection. They have more response, a little more power. You don't have to worry about a carburetor having to adjust it in the weather, altitude, or any of that. It just does it itself. The fuel injection, of course. As far as the quality did get better in 99 versus your 90s. Like I said, it's all preference. If you like a certain model, then that's what you like. If you're not a tall guy, you're not a heavy set guy, you're going to fit into pretty much any of them. So it's really what you prefer out of the truck, the options you want. When you get power steering in a Mitsubishi, you get hydraulic power steering. There's no electric power steering. It's old school, better handling power steering. So you get off-road, it's going to have more abilities to turn rather than your electric power steering like that 22 Daihatsu there has, or your Honda HA7s or anything like that with electric power steering. So I guess that's a little comparison on the trucks, what I think about them, different options you have from the 90s to the 2000s. And you know, it's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Bloop it down there in the comments. Tell me what you think. If you like the Mitsubishis, if you like the Daihatsus, if you like your Hondas, tell me why. Why do you like Hondas? Why do you like Subarus? Why do you like your Daihatsus and Mitsubishis? I like people's input, you know. I like keeping trucks that people like. So even though I may not like having a TT2 Subaru, maybe someone does, and I can move it on pretty good, get another truck, and they're four on and so forth, and keep it moving, I guess. I don't know. So a guy is going to get out of here. It's getting hot. We're tired. We're hungry. And we will catch you on the next one. I guess keep these wheels rolling and the mini trucks trucking. We'll see you later.